You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV Survivor After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV Survivor After Show.
Hey guys!
Yeah!
That's how we're starting off tonight!
Are back!
It is. We are back with Survivor Season 28, and I have to look down to pronounce Cagayan.
Is that how you say it?
That's how Jeff Probst said it.
Yeah.
Survivor Cagayan. We are back for another
Where
season.
the hell is Cagayan anyway?
We don't know.
We don't do research on this show. We just talk shit.
We have been waiting to get back in the studio to talk about Survivor. I'm Justin Walter, joined by the best co-host ever. Who do we got here tonight?
Hello, everybody. Ryan Allen Carrillo, and it's 11 p.m. Jesus Christ, it's late.
It is, and I'm Jerry Manthey, and it's way past my bedtime.
It is, and we are so excited to be back for another season of Survivor. We were going to have guest Rachel Riley from Big Brother and Amazing Race here tonight, but unfortunately she had some other things come up, and it was a little too late because we didn't realize it was going to be a 2-hour premiere episode, which was
our
great.
schedule got thrown off.
We got 2 episodes in one night tonight. We didn't even realize that was coming. So
I wish they'd do that every week.
then we'd have half a season, Jerry.
But then we normally have to drive here twice a month.
Yeah, then we,
That's
you
true.
know, have twice as many contestants.
If we were just saying, we were going to say, before we got on, we were talking about when will be the eventual last season of Survivor, and we were like,
Season 50.
It's probably going to go to 50, and then we were like, oh, we'll be so old. That's only in 10 years, basically, which is crazy.
Pretty much, yeah.
Crazy. So excited to be back. This is a season of Survivor. We're used to having returnees the last couple seasons, an all new cast.
Yay!
Yes.
Brains, bronze, and beauties.
Yes. None of them are pretty, none of them are smart, and none of them are muscular.
Oh!
I don't know
Are
what
you
is going on
kidding
with. I am dead serious.
Well, the
Go
dude
through
that
it.
got voted off tonight was pretty damn muscular. He was on the wrong team.
That's
They
what
were
I'm-
all-
You can't say he's a muscular. The Brains team in general, they are not smart at all. Disaster.
One
No.
of the best quotes of the night was Cass, the older attorney woman on
love
the.
her.
She's
I like
amazing
her
on the
too.
Brains team. She was like, I want to see the data that went into deciding
Exactly.
this Brains team.
I want to see the receipts faxed over to AfterBuzz right now.
Yeah, I know. She's funny. There was
is-
a lot of good sound bites tonight.
and Bryce, that guy. We'll get through all this.
Yeah, how
but
did he get on Beauty?
There's a
I don't
there's
know.
a lot of questionable
the girls
assignments.
coming in on the boat, how it opened up. They're
Yeah.
coming down the river, which was a great shot of it. I mean, they aren't. I mean, they're supposed to be beauty, so like I'm not judging, nor would I ever judge in public. However,
Oh, you never
That's what
judge.
we do here. We
but
judge.
what I'm saying is like they're supposed to be the hot girls, and like there's been plenty of hot girls on other seasons that.
I do think the brunette on the Beauty Tribe she's beautiful. She's
Yeah.
got Jerry hair.
She's got Jerry hair.
She's got Jerry
It's-
hair.
Trust me, it's going to look really good as it gets dirty.
Maybe I'm just saying in my mind, I thought because they were literally going specifically for the looks that they
Yeah.
were going to be like a Carrie Gibson, like just a hot, beautiful, ridiculous.
A Jerry Manthey, you know?
A Jerry Manthey,
Yeah.
right, with, big titties and hair to match. I thought that's what I was expecting. Like supermodels is what I was
I think
expecting.
No, but the boobs on the Beauty were real.
Big boobs.
That girl, what's her face?
Morgan.
Again,
Yes,
I want to see
hers
the
were
receipts on that
real.
too.
Yeah. So, well, one thing I think we're last season with the family Blood versus Water, which we loved, there were a lot of beautiful people. Like, it was a hot cast.
Yeah.
And there was like a good cast, so we're used to seeing that. And this cast, we'll see how it shapes up, but once people.
Or like One World,
get
that
in
was
it-
a really hot cast.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of expectation when you label it
Yes.
for what it's supposed to be.
That's
then
what I
you're
was
like
saying.
Yeah.
expecting it to be a certain
supermodels.
level of
and
beauty.
even
yeah.
the Braun Tribe, we were saying when we were watching, it's like all these guys in the Braun Tribe have beer bellies.
Yeah. Like, what is going on?
Like the 3 guys minus Woo have like
Woo.
beer bellies.
Woo woo.
Woo,
I like Woo.
Woo, woo.
Really?
Yeah, I like him. I like his attitude.
So we open up with all the different
I
tribes.
don't remember who Willie is.
He
How
went,
could you forget Woo?
he went
was
on the
he?
boat. He went on the boat with Cliff and the
He's
tipped over.
Cliff's
Oh, okay,
sidekick.
okay, I get it.
No,
Yeah.
wingman.
Wingman.
Cliff's wingman.
Yeah. We're a little all over the place tonight because it's a little later than we're used to.
Well, that's
so
the way
we
it should be.
apologize.
And
Oh,
it's-
yeah, it's awesome.
And it's for some reason it's like 110 degrees.
We
in
are
here.
living
I'm
in the
not even
Survivor
kidding.
environment right now.
Jerry's wearing a
No.
sweater because her nipples are showing, so we have to like cover her up. So that's
And I
what's going
know
on.
some of you have seen them already.
Right. She has-
But
Google.
She has very pretty nipples.
thank you.
It's okay. My penis is online too.
Oh, God. All right, so the show, as we get started, yeah. It opens up with the 3 tribes coming in, and we get a little something different right away. They're divided into their different tribes, and Jeff Probst has each of them select a captain, and then the captain has to pick the weakest member of the tribe.
You are the weakest link.
You are the weakest link.
I thought that was a pretty cool twist.
You like
to throw
it?
At, yeah, to throw at him right away. It made
I was
everything
glad they weren't like
interesting.
sending them to redemption right away,
Yeah.
or just doing an elimination at the beach.
Yeah.
I hate.
Thank God
hate
there's
that.
no redemption for
Thank
a
God.
Thank
change.
God. When you're out, you're out.
You're
Thank you,
thank
Jesus.
Amen.
Goodbye.
Woo. So you know the pick that obviously seemed a little out of the box was having the strongest guy on the Brains tribe picked as the weakest from David, who was selected as the captain. And I think that was the beginning of the downward spiral of Garrett.
Yes, it was also the downward spiral of
the
Brains
Brains.
team because that wasn't very smart.
No. I was telling him that if I was in that situation, I would have said, okay, we're eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We're like, everyone pick rocks or something so like you don't put the blame on you and it's not this weird thing. Then it's just chance. Because
Yeah. And he didn't even hesitate.
Yeah.
He was like, Garrett.
right, it was quick.
I think one thing that he made the mistake right away is already playing for the end in the first 5 seconds when he said, you know, I'm here playing for the final 2/3 of the game already. And
Again, not a very smart
Right.
thing to say from
Like,
the Brains team.
so many Survivor 101 mistakes were made in tonight's episode.
So many.
It was just like,
I think every mistake that you could make was made tonight.
after
Yes.
28 seasons, do you people actually watch the show? And I want to say no.
Yeah.
It's because when you land in all the shenanigans and you're in the helicopter, you get all caught up. That's totally what's happening there.
Survivor 101.
You got to calm down and breathe.
Never, ever get in the middle of a shelter discussion. If someone has a plan,
Go with it.
let them do it.
Exactly.
Let him either be the hero or the mistake.
Right, just
Yeah.
cooperate and have smiles and fun.
Yeah.
And shut up for the first few weeks.
And if you know how to do it better, just do it better. Don't say anything about it. Just do it.
Maybe the 3 of us should write a book.
I think we should. I think we should from the different perspectives. I like
That was
it.
like the most frustrating thing for me because I always say that the first episode, the biggest arguments are always about the shelter.
Yeah.
Always. Every single season.
And on the Brains tribe, obviously, how do you say it? Jatia, right? Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
So G.
The
Jatia,
nuclear
Jatia, yeah.
engineer.
So
Yes.
Jatia is
nuclear
a
bomb
Jatia.
nuclear.
Again, it's late.
Jatia, the nuclear engineer, you know, tells them all like, I know how to build this shelter. I'm gonna do it. And she.
No, she said, I have a plan.
I have a plan.
Yes.
She didn't know how to do it.
What if it was me and she's like, I'm a nuclear, I'd be like, Fierce, let's go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So
But then
everybody jumped on the bandwagon,
Right.
and then slowly but surely, everybody realized that she wasn't lifting a finger. She was bossing
Bossing.
around orders, did not know what she was doing. They eventually built a little structure, and then Tasha sat on it,
And it
just
crumbled.
crumbled.
She's lucky she didn't get hurt
yeah.
because bamboo is not soft.
No.
I mean, like you said, Jerry, how many seasons do we see fights over the shelter?
Yeah, and how many years has there been a good shelter? Why not just copy that?
And how many seasons
Layup.
should you not volunteer to be the leader? From like, oh, not me at all.
Somebody,
Oh.
does anyone else know about a shelter?
Yeah.
Oh
And
my God.
speaking of shelter, I think what's funny, just jumping around a little bit, is Tony on the Brawn tribe. He's building the shelter for his tribe, and he's building a spy shack
Yeah.
on the side
had
of the shelter
He's
so he
touched.
can go into the spy shack to listen to people
And he was
talking
serious.
at night.
This just really made me panicked about law enforcement because he is a cop and they run around with a gun and he's making some spy shack. Oh my God! There was a hashtag on that
I
part
know,
of it too.
I saw
What
that.
was it?
I
Spy-
tweeted it.
Spy
I said,
shack.
I said,
Yeah.
"What the fuck, spy shack?"
Yeah, and okay. since we're going to talk about Tony, how retarded is it to keep it a secret what you do?
That's what I was saying too.
Who's saying the same
Episode 1.
thing?
Right? Isn't it? When has it been bad to ever be a cop, a fireman, or in the military? That only helps you.
Yeah, because you know that most
God
of them are
bless
kind
the
of broke.
USA.
They're pretty broke, and they're help supporting the wellness of America.
Right, they've never tried a drug before. They're like they have all this strict list that you have to do.
And what was crazy is clearly Sarah, it's her name, right? Sarah, yeah. Sarah is talking to him, basically being like, dude, I know you're a cop. I'm a
Yeah.
cop. There's a built-in alliance if you're both cops. Right
Open
there.
door.
He's like, cops can't have tattoos. How do you know that? She was just like diving in.
I like her. I think she's
she's
I
great.
really like her.
She's really good.
Yeah.
She's on point. So
My back is sweating. It's hot as hell.
Sarah on the Braun Tribe, clearly she's got a lot going for her, reading people, being really smart in all the challenges, and she's going to go far.
She kicks ass.
She's going to go far.
Yeah.
So one thing they picked these weak links on each tribe. We had, the captain was LJ on the beauty. He picked Morgan as the weak link. Sarah picked Trish. David picked Garrett. And then they went back to the tribes and they had the option to get an extra bag of rice for their tribe.
would you, Justin?
Or take the idol. I think I would have gone with the rice.
Wait,
Really?
I said two different things.
Come on.
If I was Garrett,
I don't know.
for sure.
I would have assessed
How it went
which
down.
tribe I was in. That
Right.
would make the decision.
Garrett had no choice but to go get it because it was very like visceral when he left. What was her name?
I would have gone with the idol. You have to go with the idol.
have to.
You have to.
I
But
don't
here's
know,
what
but my thing is like just watching last season and how crazy. If you
Yeah.
had touched the idol, you were like gone.
Yeah.
And so like that would
But
panic
it
me
was
from
a
the beginning.
free idol because nobody was there to see you
Yeah.
go look for it. If you're quick enough finding
Yeah.
it, nobody even would know you have it. It's like the best position to be in.
And well, the thing is, what's interesting is we had different people lying about it. So we had the two people that looked for it, Morgan and Garrett. They told their tribe that they had a decision to make with supplies or whatever it was. And Trish, who picked the rice, told them the truth. So eventually, it's going to come out that those people had the opportunity to go get an idol. So it will come back to haunt them, Morgan or Garrett.
Right.
Perhaps.
I also don't like digging around in dark water and like I think
no,
there's
I think the
crocodiles
thing-
and there's
The
shenanigans
thing
in there.
that kind of pissed me off was that
Can you feel me? Shenanigans are in the water.
what pissed me off is
swam
that,
with crocodiles.
that within I made Ryan pause the TV when Garrett found the idol because we were 14 minutes in and he already found the hidden immunity idol with one clue.
Yeah, I think it's
Too easy.
They're a little too easy
Do you want
to
to tell
find.
her what a fan tweeted you about the twist this year with idols?
I don't. That must not be true.
That might be.
So I had a
It's a
fan.
rumor.
I know I should have looked it up. I had a fan send me an email actually saying like, "What do you think of the twist that the idol can be played after the votes are read?" And it's got to be a conspiracy theory because that would have been announced.
No.
That would never happen.
That's not because
gotta
that
be.
wouldn't make any sense.
It wouldn't.
No,
I know.
sorry,
So I wrote back an email like, "I hate this idea." Da, 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 da.
It would never happen.
Yeah,
That's the whole part of having the idol. That's like,
Like Garrett tonight.
who stupidly admitted on national television that he
We
didn't
have
even bring it
so
to tribal
much
council.
to talk about with him. So much. To
We
talk
need to
about
save
him.
10 minutes at the end for
Gosh.
him if we survive this heat.
He left it. He left it buried because he's.
I mean, just
Bless
crazy.
him. And he's watching, so Garrett, we're sending you love from
Garrett,
AfterBuzz.
you don't have the brains, dude. You should have been on the Braun. I can't lie. Sorry.
Even him specifically, like he looks. Well,
Right.
he
He probably
looks.
should have just stayed home. He didn't want to. He never wanted
didn't
to
wanna
be
be
there.
there.
Yeah.
That was one of the most frustrating comments when he said, I don't want to survive. I want to play the game, but I don't want to survive on an island. I don't want to starve. I don't want to play the elements of the nature aspect of it. Like
Clearly, another one who did not watch the show.
what? Like
I'm seriously.
no. But how do you go on Survivor and not realize that you're gonna be like struggling?
Miserable.
Did you ever have like a panic mode, like in his defense, like within the first couple days, like you kind of just dive into it, you get crazy. In a couple days, did you ever have like a moment where you cried by yourself?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
The
I'm saying
first-
maybe they caught him at that moment because there was a couple clips of him where he looked freezing,
he looked
bags under his
miserable.
eyes, like he was just like maybe feeling it in that moment.
I felt for
in his
him.
defense.
I recognize that as well because the first 6 days are always the
Yeah.
hardest. Those are the worst days, and even for those of us that have been there multiple times, every time I've been back, it's the first 6 days
Yeah.
where you just go, I forgot how horrible this is.
Right.
But you don't go into it thinking that's not part of it.
Yeah. Of
You
course.
just don't know how bad it is. But
Like
still,
when it's actually reality. It's
and maybe you
different.
wouldn't vocalize it, but he was like, "Hey, it's not for me."
Such a
you know what?
mess.
I hashtag Jeff Probst tonight. I said, Jeff, I bet you're glad that he got voted out. Hashtag he was gonna quit anyways.
Yeah, he would have quit, I think,
I
down the
saw
line.
it in his face. He was gonna quit.
Eventually, probably.
Yeah.
You know?
But he even said, I'm used to
We
sitting
actually
in a
thought he was going to
comfortable
quit
chair.
at Tribal. We thought he was going to quit at
Possibly.
Tribal.
Yeah, he's like, I'm used to sitting in a comfortable chair with people bringing me chicken and vegetables as long as I want to eat them.
Yeah, and within the first couple minutes of the show, they said the Brains tribe has an average IQ of 130.
Let's see the receipts.
I want to see the test results.
Okay, this may be a totally non-brain question, but what's the average IQ? I don't even know,
I don't know either.
what the scores are. You guys don't either?
I don't know either.
Ah, we're all idiots.
This is all I want to see. I want to see the IQ test results for the Brains. The Brawn, I want to see their body
Physical
fat,
fitness
body
test,
fat
yes.
index, and I want to see the STD results of the Beauty
Oh
Tribe.
my God.
And then we could call it a day.
Oh my
Why?
God.
Why STD results for beauties?
Because you just want to make sure.
Because
they're the hot
the
tribe.
more beautiful they are, the more
They're
STDs
having more
we're gonna
sex.
have.
They're having more
Oh my
sex.
God. All right, moving on.
Do you know how much sex I'm having? Go ahead.
Moving on to the immunity
No.
challenge. So,
La, 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 la.
Oh, please. Miss Virgin over here.
immunity challenge. We got a combo of some classic Survivor elements. There's a cart you have to wheel to get a key off a high ledge.
There was a
with
lot of
pole.
shit going on.
You have to
Climb a thing, throw the key across the thing.
Lift your wagon, put the wagon through the slats.
Yes.
Like, what the heck?
Take it apart and put it through the slits. What is this wagon slit? That's what that should have hashtag wagon slit. I don't even know what is happening on this show.
So you have to put the wagon through the hole.
That challenge had to have taken 2 hours too. You know it did.
Dude, try 4.
While they're wheeling
why?
it, they have to like move boulders out of the
Yeah,
way.
and then the girl's like, "Oh, she's pulling it. And she lets go. Oh, we got to move this." Like, they're like, "What are you doing?"
I'm sweating so
The-
much.
We're like drunk and we're sober.
I'm so sober right now.
The
But okay,
Brains tribe are having some
so
problems.
we have the result. The Beauty and the Bronze. The Beauty and the Bronze did so well, and the Brains suffered so much. Like when they had to put their chest. When they had to put their chest, not their physical chest, but the chest of the puzzle pieces through the slits.
Take a break.
Okay.
Commercial.
Okay. Their chest opened up and the puzzle pieces came out. Oh God!
The brains sucked.
They suck so bad. So actually, the Beauty came out with the win. They finished the dragon circular puzzle first, and then the Brawn finished, and the Brains couldn't do it. I don't know what we were doing tonight.
I think I'm gonna pee my pants.
This has never happened. Survivor.
Steven, throw us a
Oh
bone,
my
bro.
God, you guys are gonna fire us. Oh, sorry.
We're gonna be in the next
Oh
class.
my
What
God.
not to do? What
No,
not to
this
do?
is the best. I swear, I think they're pumping in some kind of hallucinogenic with the heat in this room.
This show will be the one that gets nominated.
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't think I've ever laughed that hard on
So
TV in my
great.
life.
Am I crying?
Yeah, so
We all cried and we're all sweating bullets and it's great. Okay, so Brains lost the first
I'm
immunity
gonna quit this
challenge.
tribe.
Wow.
it's
Okay.
like I'm in a hot box or something.
I think it's time to wrap up.
No, we cannot. We have a lot more to talk about. All right, so the Brains lost. We get to see them. Jerry won't stop laughing.
Don't ask me
You
to.
guys, all our fans are gonna. All right,
Go,
okay,
just
it's gonna be a little
Talk
monologue.
to us.
All right, so we get back to the Brains tribe, and David, he is a owner of some some Miami Marlins.
Yeah.
Okay, the Marlins, right?
I don't even know what that
Ding
means.
ding.
Yeah, Marlins. Okay, so
Yeah.
he takes
So he
Cass
owns the
aside.
team?
He's whatever owner of the team. He takes Cass, the attorney mother kind of figure, aside and says, "I want to get Jared out." Then Garrett, whatever, Garrett. Garrett wants. Then he wants. It was I can't say her name. Jatia.
Nuclear, just call her nuclear.
The nuclear engineer. It's about that, and then Cass is in the middle, and this is the worst description ever.
I don't even know what we're talking
We
about.
don't know anybody's names yet. Sorry.
know.
Just describe them.
Okay, let's talk about this. Cass is playing an honest game where people are coming up to her saying, "Who do you want out?" And she's telling people straight to their face, "I'm going to vote you up." So the nuclear engineer goes to Cass and says, like, "What are you thinking?" She's like, "I think you need to go home." Right to her face, tells her that in the first couple days, is it smart to just be that upfront with people?
No.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
not.
know. I didn't think it was a good move when she did it, but then,
She did it twice.
yeah. But
just
at the
saying
same
because-
time,
Sometimes it backfires in a way that helps you, which is what happened the second half of the episode.
Yeah.
That actually blew up and helped the cause.
Yeah.
But it could have blown up in her face too.
Could have turned around on her.
Right.
But I feel like
I think it's way too early in the game to be doing stuff like that.
the Brains tribe is just full of crazies. It should be the crazies tribe. Like,
And it's also just never good to be that
bonkers
honest
tribe.
with someone you really have no relationship with, and you're already thinking you're going to get rid of them. That just puts them on the defensive. If you really
Yeah.
want them to go, that just gives them opportunity to scramble like crazy.
Yeah.
and if they're manipulative enough and good at it, they can come. You'll be their target,
Yeah.
their first
Right.
target.
Imagine Jerry's on your tribe and you're like, "Oh, so and so, she just told me that you guys are
Yeah.
voting me out tonight." She'd be pissed.
Well,
Like,
I-
it could totally backfire.
And I
that
think
way.
what's interesting too
Scratch
is
your eyes out.
when you only have 3 tribes and you're already down to 6 people at the start. It's so many less people to work with compared to 10
Right.
or 9.
Thank God. I think it makes it more interesting.
It makes it. I think it's.
It gets
you
the
have to
dynamic
watch your
going right
moves
away.
a lot. You have to be a lot smarter in
Right.
the beginning. You
The
can't.
balance of power
You can't play
changes
under
so
the radar
quick.
as much right away. Because
Right.
when there's 9 or 10 people, you can just sit back and okay, I'll just go with the flow. But when
it's also
six,
easier to get the
yeah.
numbers.
When it's 6
You don't need
people, you
4.
just need 4 or 3
Yeah.
and force a tie or whatever it is. So and then it was kind of between David. David got voted off and kind of. What do you think? Why the tribe dynamic? What was the reason David? They didn't really play up why David got voted off.
I think he came off a little slimy.
Yeah, I think he just like rubbed people the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like he
That-
rubbed me. I felt that way from
Yeah.
him right away.
Yeah.
Well, that and going after Garrett, the strongest guy at the beginning,
Right
when you
away.
need somebody that's strong, you got to have someone strong to win all those challenges. And the fact that he
And
just
he was
targeted
continuing
him.
to go after him,
Yeah.
and people were just like, "That just is not
It's
smart."
not smart.
There was a moment where I thought Garrett was like, that I was like, oh, maybe this guy does have some brains to actually play a decent game. And that moment was when he saw Jatia and Tasha aside.
Chia.
Jerry,
need a
don't
sound
kiss
That's what
bite.
I'm gonna call her.
me.
Give me a soundbite.
Oh my god! So when he saw those 2 girls sitting aside being ostracized by the group, and he went up to them and was like, we have 3 of us right here. That's half our tribe. Why don't we just band together and I could work Spencer, and then we have 4, and we'll just get David out. So I was like, okay, he's actually maybe a decent player at this game. And that was the one tiny little moment where I was like, okay, Garrett, you actually have a brain in you. It was a strategic move, and I thought it was good, actually, that he went with the outsiders and then teamed up and talked to Spencer, which Spencer, I think, is going to go really far. I like him a
Spencer.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I think
going to go far.
the Cochran. of that
Cochran, but
team.
he's definitely more athletic, and and kind of
He got a lot of airtime.
yeah.
So.
well, and even in we saw 2 people
Right.
from each tribe in the beginning, and I was like, one of those 6 is going to win the game
sure.
because they're going to show probably
He was
the
the
winner
first-
right away.
he was the first
and
one shown, too.
He also was in the beginning. He was shown he was the first person and the last person during the confessional series. So
Who were the 6 that you're saying that are gonna make?
oh,
it?
who were they? Not to the end. I just think one of those 6 will probably be the winner. Because in the beginning you want to start developing a winner. That's just the thought.
The winning
Yeah.
edit.
As a producer.
So I don't know. So but so Cass was on the outside. There was a 4-2 vote. It was David and Cass voting Chichia.
It's hard not to say it.
gosh, I know. Now that's all I'm thinking
Nuclear
about.
engineer.
And then David went home. And here's the thing about David. It's like, oh my gosh, you're voting off a guy. He wasn't a strong guy. It's not,
No.
you're not losing a strong guy.
No,
You know?
I did like his little comment about what you want me to be the leader because I'm wearing a blazer. Oh,
Yeah.
and by the way, this is not a suit. The pants don't match.
Right.
Yeah, and his whole kind of like I hire and fire people all the time. I wouldn't hire. It was kind of it came off very harsh,
Arrogant.
and kind of just
Too
like,
much.
too much.
You
in
can't
the first
think
episode.
that anything you do in your normal life is going to apply in Survivor.
But also, if you do have like a complete like business leadership personality, you can have that if you also have like endearing qualities too. And he just from the surface right away didn't have that. So
Yeah.
if you don't have both, you can't really play that hard ass side.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about some people on the other tribes. What do you think of on the Beauty tribe? Bryce teaming up with Morgan, and kind
I need
of
pictures of these people.
Bryce.
Morgan's the one with the really
Morgan's
nice
got
Real
big
boobs.
boobs.
Huge.
Bryce was wearing the purple pants.
Let me just say,
Jerry's lesbian,
huge.
hashtag lesbian moment.
Huge boobs, but they're real. They move. They're just like all over
They're big.
jelly.
Bryce had the purple
You're like a
pants
straight
on.
man watching Survivor. Look at her titties moving all over the place.
You can't help but look. They're huge.
I didn't see her titties
And
at
they're
all.
just. they're.
Jeremiah's
they
the
move.
I did see
southern.
Garrett's underwear blurred. That was all I saw tonight.
Jeremiah's the southern guy who's the model who was with Bryce and Morgan, and then Bryce, remember, he was
I'm a
like,
model.
he's like, and he's well, yeah. And then Bryce was, us southern people have to stick together.
That
We were
was
like,
really, really funny.
we were laughing
With that-
We were
hysterically.
screaming.
The
yeah.
southern
He's like,
part.
what? Like the other girl, the blonde girl, is definitely southern, but she's not included in that.
Was Bryce Southern?
Jeffra.
I don't think I heard an accent.
I don't think Morgan's southern. I don't think Bryce was southern. I don't know why he was saying that, but Jeremiah is definitely southern.
Oh yeah.
And
The gay guy's gonna have some trouble too because he's like so much. You know, he's just gonna get into some crazy shenanigans with his tribe for
Shenanigans.
sure.
I do like the pairing. I think LJ and brunette girl are gonna work together. Pretty LJ and Jerry hair girl. I can't believe we don't. I mean, these names, I don't know them yet.
Yeah.
All of them feel bad. And then the Braun tribe, they are in love with Cliff. What do you guys think of Cliff?
Oh, the basketball player.
I don't know. He seems. I don't really have an opinion on him yet.
Yeah, I like him. I mean, obviously everybody else likes him. There must be something endearing about him.
He seems just really happy, excitable.
Of course
and
he
like,
is. He's already been a millionaire like
Right.
20 times over.
Was
He's
this
just there
before-
for fun.
Was this filmed before or after he went to North Korea?
I don't know.
Who went to North Korea?
He went with Dennis Rodman on that trip to North Korea that got so much criticism.
Really?
He was a part of that crew.
Ooh.
I would guess this was filmed before.
Before, probably,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Interesting. We'll have to look into that a little
Yeah.
bit more.
Yeah,
That
for
was
sure.
shenanigans.
That is total shenanigans.
You really like Lindsay, the dreadlock chick.
Yeah. No, at
'Cause-
first I
'cause
was
of
like,
her
oh,
abs.
here we go, another hippie. And then I'm like, I love her tattoos. I love her abs. She's
Again,
just got.
hashtag lesbian over here. This is an all-gay show, Survivor at AfterBuzz TV. Tune in and get your gay pride flag sent to you free. What the hell's going on
No,
here?
I can appreciate other women. There's something about her. She seems like a very strong
she
woman.
butts head with Trish. Do you like Trish
when
is
she
the
made
boss?
fun of Trish,
The-
that was
she
pretty
said
funny.
malnutrition Trisha or something like that.
Yeah.
Did she?
Yeah, you didn't hear
Malnutrition,
that?
she went like this with her
Or
gums
she
or whatever.
stuck
like that.
her lip under
I
her.
didn't like her at all. She has to quiet down a little bit. She's
I
not
kind
gonna last
of
very
like
long.
Trish a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. But she and Tony seem to have a good vibe going. It seems like everybody's pairing off, which I think is natural.
Right.
I liked Trish at the beginning,
Yeah.
but then that last bit that I saw of her, what was she doing?
Telling her to pick up wood.
Yeah. I was like,
it was-
and that's another thing, Survivor 101. You don't yell at people to go
Not
pick
only
up
that,
wood.
but don't be passive aggressive about
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Like if you were to say like, hey, I think that maybe you could contribute a little bit more in picking up wood or
No,
helping our
you
camp.
don't
You
say
never
that.
do.
But I'm saying if you could say it in a nicer
You
way.
can't.
You just
it's
shut
better
your
than-
mouth.
You can't.
I agree.
You go get the
But-
wood, and then you silently behind everyone's
Tell everybody
back.
else.
If you're gonna say something, don't be passive aggressive
You can't
about
say anything
it.
at all.
Never
No.
be passive aggressive.
No, it was so weird.
It was weird.
But and I love how her hair, like sometimes it was like had a life of its own. It would be like over on the side, about 3 feet off of her head. Like she's just an interesting character to me.
Yeah, she is.
And I love her tattoos, and I don't generally like
We'll have to
tattoos.
throw her tattoos up there to analyze them a little bit more on
Didn't
the
you
screen.
notice? They like go down the whole side of her.
I didn't see a lot of what the designs were or anything like that. The Cliff
barely
Woo,
know what we're talking
the Cliff Woo duo. Do we see that progressing into like a little wingman situation in the future?
I like
I don't
Cliff
know.
and Woo.
I think Wu could be a surprise.
He's gonna go far.
I like
probably.
Woo. I'm telling you, I see good things with
I
Woo.
do too.
With Woo, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about then the upcoming immunity challenge. So we had the second immunity challenge, and it was all the water-based challenge. And Cliff and Bryce decided to sit out, and going in the swimming into the cage. Why are you laughing?
I'm not touching it.
They decided to sit out, and then we've seen, I think, this exact challenge before, where it's swim
I've
out.
never seen this
Yeah,
one.
it was in one of the last couple seasons. Swim out, climb up the gate, get in the water, then you have to release
Get the fish traps.
the door, untying it, then you pull the fish traps. And when they were pulling the fish traps, I was like, oh my, do you see the blood
It was
floating in
kind
the
of high
water?
risk, right?
Yeah.
The fish traps must, I mean,
No,
clearly
that
were
was
sharp.
Tony. He was trying to carry a heavy fish trap
And
with
Sarah
his foot.
with her finger, though.
Yeah.
She was, she had a bloody finger. So what was...
Also, when they just were climbing over the top, one person's like their legs were in between the things. I'm like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, you're gonna break your legs.
So what was impressive on the brains dominated the physical part of this challenge. They dominated getting out of the cage and getting the fish traps to the beach first with a big lead. Garrett was a beast in this challenge,
he was.
which was really impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't expect
He was
that.
underwater forever.
He was underwater untying things for such a long time. He was just manhandling the fish traps and carrying them like 2 at a time through the water, and they just dominated. The Brawn and the Beauty tribes were struggling so much. They have big dudes and everything, and they were struggling to get these fish traps back
Did
to
you
the
see
beach.
that the beauties were like, what's the trick? And then they goes, there's no trick. They just couldn't figure out. You have to lift them up.
Yeah. So the Brain tribe had this huge lead over Beauty and Brawn, and the engineer decided that she was going to be the one to do the puzzle. And the puzzle was one of those where you fit one piece, you have to turn things around.
Right.
You fit one piece in, and then as you fit one piece in, then all the other pieces start to fit in.
Kind of go together, right?
They go together.
Yeah,
And she couldn't do it.
Her strategy on that was really stupid, actually.
What was her strategy?
When she would not get one in the place, she'd put it on the side, and then she just kept a stack of ones that she couldn't fit. And if you're stacking them, you can't see them in relation to the
Yep.
board. Like, you need to have everything
Spread out.
And
You
the
know.
other thing too is since the inside pieces spin, if you just have one little setup and you're trying each piece in that, you have to spin the pieces along as well. So
Right.
it was just like,
She just was, you could tell she was panicking. Jeff called her out
Yeah.
on it, but Jeff obviously makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Oh, she's panicking now. You can see it in her face. And by then she's about to have a nervous breakdown.
He said some horrible things this
Yeah.
episode.
He was really into it.
This is the worst competition I've seen in Survivor history.
Yeah.
and then the crates open up and all the pieces fly out.
Yeah.
And it was just,
The brains are not being very smart.
I think his brains are unbelievable. It just,
Yeah.
wow.
We want to see the paperwork, CBS.
It's also
receipts.
much harder than it looks. Like,
Yeah.
it's so easy to watch at home and be like, oh, I would love to do the show. I would destroy in the challenge. But when you're there, it's
Yeah,
the pressure, everything else,
When
and
you're-
not
That's hard.
eating.
When you're
all
an
that comes in
engineer,
together.
come on. So Sarah took the puzzle for the Brawn and she just blew through it. She dominated. She took over the brain lead and killed it and got first place. And then the Beauty tribe comes in and they dominated as well. They went through it so fast and it left the brains going to tribal council once again. And it was just kind of like, you guys are terrible.
I'm so happy that it wasn't predictable. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that Chichia was going home.
Yeah.
And then they turned it around on Garrett. I screamed. I
Yeah.
never really get that crazy
I
at
get-
the end of a Survivor at home.
I could be wrong, but I swear there had to have been a conversation that they just didn't air of them
You
saying.
think?
Oh no! I think when Garrett went to go vote, I saw
They sort of turned to each other. I
Yeah.
saw that too.
The girls-
That's when that kind of stuff
There was
happens.
a conversation that for sure didn't air
Yeah.
because I don't think you just flipped like that without even saying one discussion or one thing.
Going into tribal, it looked like they were going to vote up Jatia and Chichia. God.
It helps you remember.
And
now.
it does. And then the two girls and Cass voted off Garrett, and Spencer voted with Garrett to vote her off. So, Spencer thinks he's on the outside. But what's interesting is it really seems like Cass is the one who made the decision to flip. She pulled a Sierra and flipped a tribal council, it seems.
Right.
Which I think she made the better move. She got off a sinking ship.
She did.
Yeah.
She didn't really
Like-
have a choice. She
And
knew who the
now-
target was going to be next week, and she would have dwindling numbers. And I mean, we should probably just talk about that tribal in the first place. Like, it was just a disaster from start
Such
to finish.
a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even leading up to that point, we didn't even talk about the events leading up to Tribal after the challenge, where they went back to the camp and Garrett said, let's just all talk in an open forum, Survivor 101. Let's talk in an open forum who we're going to vote off so we don't have to go off and have side conversations and then can enjoy the day. And then he starts, Cass, who do you want out? And she was so upfront and honest. I think
Chichia.
Jatia.
Well,
It's the hardest name to say. I'm sorry, I keep not pronouncing it right.
But I'm just saying,
Jatia.
even if she didn't, she had to just say here no matter what, because she could just say, oh, just because of the challenge. Like,
Yeah.
She couldn't even, who knows if that was even her real intention, but you're on the spot right there. He obviously lost his mind because he was so off. That doesn't even make any sort of sense.
And then even Spencer, you know, he's thinking this is the dumbest thing ever. I love Survivor. I'm a big fan or whatever.
He's
and
just
then
going along.
He was just like, I agree with her. I guess.
Same thing.
You two, and he's like, all right, it's a done deal.
The
Then.
best ever is when he's like, what about you, Garrett? Like,
that was
and then he
so
like
good.
passed it to him. Oh my God, I was screaming. That was so
That
funny.
was good.
And then what's the girl's name who got really angry because she was like, I came here to play
Tasha.
Survivor.
I love her.
Not have it.
I am a Survivor player, and this is not how you play it, and I am not going to play it this way.
She gave all the good sound bites. For sure.
Sweet, yeah.
And I really love that she did that because, you know, when you see everybody, the domino effect of everybody just ching, 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 ching going down the row of we're going to vote off her. And then she stood up. And Fizz was like, I came here to play the game. This is Survivor. I want to strategize. I'm talking to people if I want. Like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I love that she did that.
You know, I had a flashback watching that little scene and how Garrett was so controlling and how he's like, oh, now all 5 of us, that's why I wanted all 5 of us to sit together on the beach.
Rob.
That's what Boston Rob did
Yep.
to us. He tried on Heroes and Villains, but
Yep.
you know, you can't do that to seasoned players and
Yep.
expect everyone just to sit around and not go take a dump in the woods or, you know, walk to the beach
Yeah.
and, you know, get in the water.
I
Like,
mean,
come on.
are you-
You can't control people like
Yeah.
that. And if you think you can, you just set yourself up just to get voted out because
And-
nobody wants to be controlled.
No.
They're all adults. Like, come on, dude. Really?
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me.
Right, it's a part of the game. You can't. It just doesn't work.
what's fun
you
about
can't-
the game.
You can't control it, and the second you
those
think you're in control,
conversations.
you're completely out of control
It's
too.
stupid to even say that. Something like, I think we should all just sit here and have a discussion, and let's all just stick together now until we have to go to tribal council. Like,
was so
who the
terrible.
hell are you, man?
And then
Seriously.
when finally Cass and Tasha got to the beach to go obviously strategize, but they say wash their feet. That's what they're calling it these days.
Yeah.
Tasha was like, let's turn this around on the boys. Let's team up with the girls. Like, let's do this. And then the boys came over and they're like, you can't leave her back at camp alone. Jerry, I know you went crazy.
I did when she dumped the
when
rice.
she dumped their entire supply of rice into the fire, pulling a
I was
brand
like,
of
you
ham.
stupid bitch. Seriously, because I mean, I thought for sure at that point that she lost her girls. You know, the 2 women were getting ready to join up with
That's
her.
what Cass even said.
That's
And I
how
was
bad
like-
Garrett is. That even after she dumped the rice, like they still are like, no, you're not going home.
I mean,
you're leaving.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's messed up.
But
'Cause
do you know
that-
what? It was a chain reaction
Yes.
of that happening to Garrett. So still it's blamed on Garrett for making it so public and making her go crazy right
Yeah,
there. So
no,
like
it is.
you can always spin it right back to him.
But still.
It's so true. How crazy is the girl that dumps her entire tribe's supply of rice?
They don't realize
And
how valuable the
doesn't get
rice
voted
is.
off.
The first week, they don't realize how valuable the rice is quite yet.
They will very soon.
It was just also like Garrett at tribal council. He just talked himself. He was an idiot.
Yeah.
You know, when he said like he was like talking to Jeff and he was like, yeah, you know, the 3 of us in the alliance. I mean the tribe, and it was just like he gave away the final 3 deal that he, Cass, and Spencer had made in the alliance that they made before.
But then he also outed somebody out of the alliance.
Tasha.
Whatever.
So
That,
then Tasha thought she was in an alliance with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And
She's like, "Oh,
well,
really?
Oh, really? Hi, I'm on the outs now. Okay, all right." And then he was like, no. Once we get rid of Jatia, then you're in. We're the
Then the
final
4.
4. The 4 of us are going to be great. You know, blah, blah, blah.
yeah, that was. So, I'm so glad he's gone. It was really just annoying. The whole
It was
deal.
sad. I honestly think you said it earlier, Jerry. He's never watched an episode of Survivor.
Nope.
Never.
Absolutely
He's a
not.
professional poker player.
And he
who
could have
shoulda-
done
He should have
so
been on the.
well.
He should have been on the Bronze tribe.
He should have, and he could have. He could have done really well as a poker player. And the second they said that, I
Right.
went,
It's
"Ooh,
also-
this guy can go far. He can lie to people's faces."
I want to see the receipts on that too, because like he talked about give your cards away the entire time. Like, what kind of poker player is he?
We need to look into his poker record.
because
Yeah.
he is just
Can you pay to be
he
a
just
poker
gave
player?
everything away every time,
He had no
You're
poker
right.
face.
He showed his damn cards.
constantly.
Every single
Again,
time.
I want the receipts by tomorrow.
I bet he doesn't win very often.
I don't know. It was.
Do you want to comment on that, Garrett?
We know you're watching.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
It's people like you, Garrett, that make this show so damn fun.
We will do a cheers in your honor. Cheers.
I think though. That was the best move for the tribe because
totally.
Now, even if Chatia is still crazy or whatever,
Which she will be.
I think Spencer, Cass, and Tasha are now going to actually have a chance to bond and just kind of like be a good cohesive 3 group with Chatia on the side. And I honestly think they'll probably do better in challenges anyways.
They're going to suck at challenges.
Oh, they're going to get their ass
They're going to get their ass handed to them.
Yeah.
And they're going to go again, and then they're going to have to mix it all up really quick.
Let's just hope that the next challenge has to do with brains. And
well, no, they're not going to win that. I mean, they just need to sit, engineer aside, and let Spencer step up finally.
Ready, set, go.
Right.
Cass, Tasha, and Spencer, you need to step up in the brain part of the challenge. Let's see someone else take charge.
Yeah, they're going to be hurt. I don't see a situation.
Do you predict this is going to be like a Malcolm Denise tribe where they're just going to get
exactly
demolished?
What they're going to just get demolished every week.
You think so?
The Bronze team, they're strong, and the Beauty team, they all are strong
I
on that too.
think the thing the Beauty team has out of all the 3 tribes is they're the most cohesive, I feel like, or would be, or will be, or kind of. But it seems every tribe has a lot of factions. But it seems like the Beauty team gets along the best out of any tribes so far.
Well,
what team is the gay guy on?
Beauty.
Yeah.
I mean, really?
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
Really?
But did you hear LJ making comments about how he can trust a cute girl, but he can't trust a hot girl?
That was awesome. When he picked Morgan to go over, he was like, there's 2 types of girls, cute and hot. I don't trust the hot girls. So I trust the 2 cute girls.
LJ, what happened to you, man? I want to hear the story.
One thing, Jerry, you haven't commented about, it seems like they gave them up front a ton of supplies.
Oh.
Yeah. Right when they got there, they're where they were telling them to go find the idol, there was
like
stuff
just
everywhere.
Supplies everywhere.
And a canoe.
And a canoe.
Right.
And a canoe.
What's
I swore I
going
saw a
on?
generator and a microwave oven.
I'm pretty sure I saw mascara as well because everybody seemed to be wearing it out there.
They gave him so much supplies. I was shocked. It was
I think
like,
they let them wear makeup now.
no,
Well, a lot of
do they?
people wear it at the beginning because they're trying to
it
look
stays
hot.
on?
No, it looks like crap. Ladies, stop wearing makeup on Survivor. It just gets halfway down your face and it just looks so rough.
But I mean, it's like a few days into it now, and they still look like they have makeup on.
Yeah, that girl Morgan had a lot of mascara. And it wasn't running, so I don't know if you can you get permanent mascara now?
You can.
Really?
I know that Carrie,
That's
she snuck
crazy.
makeup in her
Oh
bag
my
for the
gosh.
first few episodes, and then that didn't last very long because it just was too heavy.
Yeah. Do you think in the future that if he builds it correctly, the spy shack is going to work, guys?
Absolutely not.
I think he's forgetting that he's surrounded by twigs and leaves and things that go crunch.
Yeah, and that camera's following you as well, so they're clicking and crunchy too, and they're filming something in the corner
But
there.
throwback to one of to Sandra's first season, when Johnny Fairplay and Burton were like on the beach talking strategy. Remember she pulled Lil and they like snuck into the bushes. Sandra, come on.
I don't remember
don't
her
remember
doing
it?
that. You know
She-
what? She was doing that while I was out of
She
the
is so
All-Stars.
good at that stuff. So when he was talking about the spy shack, I was thinking about Sandra because Sandra did that stuff and it worked.
It's different hiding in a bush
I
as opposed
know.
to making this. He's like a bigger guy too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get that.
This season also seems like it's going to be a very wet season, and
Yeah,
we got a preview.
finally,
we got a
some
preview of
suffering.
that in the first when Jeff sent them to their camps. He said like, "Oh, enjoy. It's not a rainy day," like something along those lines. So it's like, why would Jeff be saying that? Because this is going to be a wet, like China
Wet
season.
I mean, next
and
episode, you could tell.
cold. Everyone was shivering and soaking wet. And I was having the conversation with my husband while we were watching this episode.
Yeah.
That the crazy thing that nobody thinks about when you watch the show is that at tribal council, when you're sitting there and all of a sudden a storm kicks in and it's like really bad and you're soaking wet. I mean, just dripping. Like we would just be sitting there drinking water out of our hands. And the first thing you think about is, holy crap, you got to plan what you're going to wear so that when you get back to camp, there's something dry to sleep in. Because you can't sleep when you're soaking wet and shivering.
It's
you just
miserable.
can't. So, that's what I'm always thinking when I'm watching the show, and I'm like, it's raining during tribal council. I'm like, oh, I hope you guys kept some clothes on the side.
Also, what I think about too when I see this too is your feet have to be dry, because like your feet are so important that you don't get blisters and cuts, because they so easily get infected out there, and
They're
if they
always
don't
wet.
dry, there's problems, right?
It's called jungle rot.
Yeah, it gets
and
really,
we've all
really bad.
had it.
Yeah.
It's just they showed next week like some
The footage
scenes
already
of
looks
it. Yeah,
gross.
I'm like, oh yeah, I know that foot.
Will
is
the
horrible.
weather this season force a Purple Kelly and Ianka quit? Because that's what happened in their season. Will someone quit because of the weather?
I think the
I'm
person
hoping
who
not.
might have quit got voted
Already
out.
left.
Yeah, I think we were saying he would probably have quit.
Yeah, he would have quit.
He would have
I
quit.
saw it in his face.
Yeah.
They couldn't handle it.
Yeah,
It's not for everybody.
it's good.
It's
good.
miserable.
Good. It looks like a fun season ahead. Before we go, I think we have to decide though. There's 3 of us here, and there's 3 tribes. Which tribe would each of us be on?
Clearly, I'm the beauty. I've already tweeted this.
Then that would leave you on the brawn, and I'd
No.
be the brain.
Oh, thanks, Jerry.
Jerry's the brawn because she can kick all of our asses.
So I'm on the brains.
Yes.
No, because Justin's got bigger muscles than me.
But you could still kick his ass in 2 seconds.
You think so?
Oh my God, yes. Have
know
you ever
what?
been in a fight before?
No.
Never. Have you?
No, because
I don't believe
nobody
you for a minute.
dares.
See?
My dad tweeted me, not tweeted, he texted me, he said, so which tribe would you have been on, brain or beauty? I was like, oh, thanks for considering me for brawn. So thanks, Dad.
Scratch that off the list.
So no brawn. So I guess I'll take the brains. A brain is going to win this season. It's going to be Tasha, Spencer, or Cass. There we go.
Oh.
Maybe.
I can't make a decision.
Probably not. I don't know.
It's too blah.
It's too early, but it's going to be a fun season.
Although I will say, oh shoot, what was
Go,
I
yeah.
can't remember her name, and
Which one? Describe her.
I can't.
She already forgot.
All right, well, that has been our episode.
This has been a
Comment on iTunes and YouTube and send us your tweets. And
gonna get hate mail.
We'll go back to our normal time next
No.
week at 9 p.m. Pacific Coast time. And I'm Justin Walter. You can find me on Twitter at Justin F. Walter. And you guys, where can I find you?
I am Ryan A. Carrillo on Twitter and Instagram, Snapchat, all the above.
At Jerry Manthey or jerrymanthey.com. And I will say that thanks for joining us in our little laugh-a-sobe.
I cannot wait to watch that.
I also want to say you could see me and Rachel Riley
Yes.
on Bite Size TV Thursdays at 3 p.m. where we do a show called Reality Relapse, but we talk about everything. We talk about Survivor, we talk about The Real Housewives, anything in reality television we talk about. 44-minute show. Check us
Boom.
out.
That's a lot of discussing.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk
a lot
about.
going on.
Yeah, well, we are back for Survivor.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
It's hot in here.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.